That should be working, right? In here now, yeah. Fuck me, like, I really wish Twitch and OBS would solve this fucking problem, man. Yeah, it's not me. My internet didn't go down. The Twitch server went down. Because nothing happened on my end. But whenever you lose connection to Twitch, for some reason, it mutes the audio and stuff, and you gotta turn off and turn on. I don't know why it's doing this. I only started in 22 with this crap. Just F5. No, I've seen Henkin get it and some other content creators and stuff. It's mental, man. It's a big problem with Twitch right now. Because again, my internet didn't fluctuate at all. I just literally went from green to 0 connection on Twitch. The problem is it splits the VOD. I hate that shit, right? Give me a second. Fucking splitting VODs. Twitch, here we go. So let me just quickly dead space whilst I'm doing this. The joys of Twitch. You know the funny thing is, when I was streaming on YouTube, never had this problem, right? If my internet went down, you guys could sit watching it repeat itself for like a few minutes kind of thing. That's one thing I would love to see Twitch actually change out their stuff. Let me just quickly see the picture there. Don't judge me. This is how I do my streams. What's today? 22. I'm about to do this is part 1. Because we export everything to YouTube, so it just helps me move it over. It's so sad, man. Export to YouTube. Whee! Alright, cool. So we did nearly 2 hours. So I got like an hour before my son arrives. The joys of Twitch. As soon as you came into the show, I think you played with me, but that's up to you if you want to call that. Give me a second. Sorry guys, just dealing with dogs. But yeah, YouTube never had any of these issues. Never any of these issues. They have a really cool video system where... So Twitch gives you 90 seconds to get everything back into gear. So if your internet goes down, you got 90 seconds. YouTube doesn't. It literally stitches it for lifetime. And it just keeps you guys on a loop and lets you know that people will come back and stuff like that. It's such a good feature. And it's one thing I miss, because obviously I live rural, right? So my internet can go down at any time. It's been getting a little bit better as time goes on. But this is where, like, for me, I would love to get into, like, Starlink. But even then, Starlink wouldn't help me in this situation if Twitch decide to turn, or the server goes down and stuff like that. They really need to have their own server meshing. So while CIG are working on server meshing, I think Twitch need to work on server meshing as well. Because again, you've got to turn your stream off if their server dies. It's dreadful, man. You would think of a company that have been on the go, like Twitch is what, over 10 years now? Is it not? Something like that. You would think that they would have some sort of tech that moves you onto another server automatically. YouTube Gaming is getting a few new features next year. Nice. Again, if YouTube would just hurry up with some more stuff, maybe make Twitch work on things. I mean, Twitch have been working on their whatnot, like moderation. You gotta give them that, right? They've got a lot more moderation on the go. It's a shame that you just can't combine the two, right? YouTube's video platform and Twitch's moderation kind of stuff, but that would be so sick. I would love that. It is getting better with live streaming. I think they have to. What is that? Oh, it's a beacon. It's not a ship. At a certain time, there were more YouTube SE streamers than Twitch streamers. I would believe that, yeah. I can believe that. Alright, let's go back to the conversation we had before. Especially with more egg-shaped, non-spherical profiles. I generally feel like with the way they're advertising the new flight model, Ondo, if you're still there, I personally believe you're going to see a dog fighting video game that has a slight amount of 6DOF. That's it. I genuinely believe we're gonna go to like flying like traditional planes in Star Citizen. The difference is you just have a little bit more movement in the strafes. That's it. It'll end that way. That would be horrible. Well, again, you try and explain how you're going to be able to do a 6DOF game. Like, the way they design the fighters and stuff like that, you can never do a proper 6DOF game. Because if you're to do traditional 6DOF, you would just be a box with guns, right? You would just be a box with guns, and you would have the ability to move in every direction. Now, they used to do this, right? They used to have it where all thrusters moved, and it was a lot of fun, actually. It was a lot of fun. But the problem is that you had people like myself that you could never hit. You could never hit me. Even some of the sweatiest pilots in this game couldn't do shit against me because I could literally disappear around you. And I don't know if that's something that should be in the game, personally. It was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but for a video game to try and bring it in for new people, I'm not sure, right? But I genuinely feel that if you had a space game where you're flying around, like take for example Star Wars, I never played Star Wars Squadrons. I think Burks played it, I know Avenger 1 played it, or it was called Rogue One at the time. I'm trying to remember who else played it. I think Nerd and Show and Tell played it. I don't know if like Virgil and Co played it. I never played it, I'm not a Star Wars fan. But I did hear that it had a really good system for combat. And that is flying around like a jet fighter as well, you know? Hard to speculate at the moment how the flight model would be, honestly. It doesn't sound like CAG is sure as yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so that whole show, they got like what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to talk about it? And generally, and this is no offense to Yogi and Richard, they did a grand job for being live. I don't think they answered anything important in that segment. Nothing of importance was talked about. Like, as in, how do you stop people going into nav mode? I know you've had your thread and your questions and stuff like that on it, right? Feel free to link it in chat, by the way, Ondo, if you want some more traffic, dude. So I can understand the like people are wanting it to be this way, some people are wanting it this way. For me, I want it to be like anything that CIG does, I want it to be where dogfighting is dogfighting, not looking at each other FPS style, the ability to wiggle and backstrafe into Narnia, right? If they take away that, I'm happy. Whatever they do after that. Long as you take away those free sort of things. For me. Now, if they make it where you're flying like jet fighters, but in space with a little bit of strafing, I'm fine with that. If they make it where you're able to move in multiple directions or something like that, but again, it's where you get the angles, right? I'm fine with that to a certain degree. But the servers have to be able to deal with the information to basically server to client, you know what I mean? Hey Merlin, thank you very much for the follow, dude. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're in that areas, I'm fine with it. Got to get rid of the cheese, because cheese is the biggest thing that plagues this game, and it has been for multiple years. And we're going all the way back to like even Free 4, just at the beginning of Free 0. There's always been cheese in this game. Holy shit, the dude is now turning up in a fucking hawk just to catch up with me, right? Oh, jeez, chat. Talk about fucking dripping head to toe in sweat, like... You know what I mean? When you have to literally go and get yourself a faster ship in a straight line to chase after somebody. Fucking catch me now, right? Jeez, can't even have a conversation with you guys without a sweat dripping. Go back to Arena Commander, nobody's impressed. Nobody's impressed with the way you're playing right now. Isn't Master Mode gameplay something they held back in SC? No. Well, it wasn't called Master Mode at that time too. It was basically where you had Pre, you had SEM, and you had Cruise Mode. And you could go in between. Pre was good for landing and more like stabilizing your ship whilst taking off. SEM was obviously for combat, and Cruise was what we're doing right now, getting up to max speed. But the difference with Cruise was you couldn't turn around. So you see how I do this? You could not do this in Cruise mode. You actually had to go up in a big fucking curve, right? Which I still think should be a massive thing in this game, right? When you're going in a straight line at high speed, you shouldn't be able to just 180 and go and fly in the opposite direction. I feel you should have to actually do a long curve around because you're going so fast. Take, for example, the beginning of Top Gun Maverick, for example. That ship is literally, or that plane is fucking having to go round the curvature of the planet because it just can't go anywhere else, right? It can't just hard turn at these speeds. That's what we used to have. Now, back then though, SEM was where if I went 10 G's forward, I also went 10 G's sideways, 10 G's up, 10 G's backward. Every movement was the same, where you were basically this sphere ship that could turret, right? And with dual joystick and decouple, you were nearly untouchable unless versing somebody of pretty much similar skill. But some other people just literally couldn't do a fucking thing about you because you were just always invisible to that sort of thing. And it was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but it was very, very broken and powerful because, again, the moment that you were dying, you could engage cruise and just go turn off cruise, come back, engage, get your shields up, all that stuff. 4.0 stuff with the Master Mode sort of gets rid of that cheesiness that we had from like 4 years ago. Which is, when you go into nav mode, you're still able to get up to speed, but you're going to lose the ability to countermeasure weapons, and you're going to eventually lose your shields as it starts to deteriorate. I'm fine with that, because if somebody is flying around doing their average stuff, you know, they want to have speed and sort of that situation awareness before anything else. But what Ondo and Tumberino and a lot of people are concerned about is when you get into SEM speed and you're starting fighting, who's to say somebody just doesn't go, I'm fucking gone, and it's the same thing as it is just now, right? And I feel there are many ways that CIG could do this, right? Where basically you can't engage nav mode if you're under fire. How do you guys feel about that one, Undo? If you are able to land shots on somebody, even just like shields, right? So it's the same as shields for regenning. You have that same timer, right? Where if you're landing the shots, somebody can't get up to nav mode. They can still afterburner through their SCM speed, but they can't engage nav mode until they're completely out of combat for the same time as it would be to regen shields. I think this would be an amazing thing, right? Show us a fight. Where am I advertising that I'm fighting, right? I think you guys need to sweat over to another fucking channel, right? It's starting to get boring now. I think having different modes is bullshit. Again, they're trying to go back to the same things that we used to have on Do. And then, you know what I mean? Try and make it a bit more modern today, working and stuff. Show feet? You're not gonna see feet in this channel, dude. Ever. When people are incoming, you go into combat mode. For me, I would actually be quite happy if we had the same sort of style that we had right now, Undo, but like I said, if you're under fire, you wouldn't be able to go above SCMs, or you wouldn't be able to push to like the 1200 that we're doing right now. That could actually work. I mean, I don't know why they didn't try it, right? They're going straight to the craziness of back to the modes and stuff like that, and we'll just have to see how it actually goes, right? Shut up, online. Yeah, the only button you need on the keyboard is fucking print screen, right? What are the secrets? But dude, I don't have a lustrous beard. My beard is super like thin around here and stuff. Go and see Captain Burks. If Captain Burks or Detox has the ability to make a very luscious beard. Mine is not at all. Mine's very weak, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do it to get it better. Is there any possibility to catch you, or can you escape at any time? I can escape at any time. Unless you have a mantis, but even then, I can kill a mantis before the rest of a fleet turns up or something if I'm lucky. It all depends, right? Got the same beard issues? Yeah, it's like at the front here, it's really, really good. So I suppose I'm Papa Bless with the beard. It's good here, but here is dreadful, right? Look at this, chat. This dude is the biggest sweat I've ever fucking seen, right? How many times does this guy have to fucking warp around? Let's do a Dead Space. We'll do an EVE Online Dead Space. Alright? EVE Online Dead Space coming up. This guy is dripping from fucking head to toe, like. Should go and change out. What's the fact? We'll go and change out to fucking Herald and go super fast. Alright. And then we'll go up. Rogan Works, I have. Is that the stuff like it's what's it called? It's like steroids for beard? Is that what you're talking about? He's mad. Dude, he's just dripping sweat, that's all. Yeah, he's got a bounty, but instead of being like a normal fucking player, he knows that I'm probably streaming and just wants clout. Because anyone else would just fucking not bother right now. If you know who I am, like if I want to disengage and not have a fight and chat to my chat, I will, right? I don't give a shit, but this person literally went from a Mustang to a Hawk just to have that forward speed to try and catch the arrow. I'll look into that Secret Wars though, but if it's the steroid stuff, I don't really want to start using like creams or something where you have to keep using them to have like a lush beard or something, you know? Oh, there's plenty of people that can kill me, Banzai. I don't give a shit about people who are better than me, you know what I mean? Like, Star Citizen, I was about to say Eve. Star Citizen for me is about survival. So if somebody is chasing after me and I'm doing other things and all that stuff, I'm always winning, right? Yeah, it's the Mustang guy, yeah. Yeah, Montana, but that's the stuff where if you stop using it, it sort of like has an effect, right? You've got to get into your system, and I just don't want to use like a chemical for a beard that you have to keep doing, you know? Anyway, let's go back to the 4.0 chat. Or maybe when you engage that cruise mode, your shields go off and take some time before you actually speed up. Well, that's what's meant to happen, Zarky, in 4.0. If you want to go from SEM, or it's now, is it called combat mode, Ondo? I don't know why it's like flares and decoys, right? Do you still know, right? They changed it to decoy and noise. The audio is, it says flares and chaff, by the way. And in the files, it's still called flares and chaff. It's only this UI that calls it decoy and noise. And then in options as well, under counters. It's fucking bonkers. Just keep it as flares and chaff. Naming is always hard in software. It drives me nuts, man. Moroccan oil and let it trim it and back and neaten up. Do you have to keep using it though, Mordors? Again, I'm just trying to get this sort of area a little bit thicker, and I'm using like a roller and stuff to like open up the pores, but it's just a bitch. It won't do it. Do you think they'll fix Jeff in 3.18? Apparently there has been work on countermeasures, but I don't know too much detail on it. Hey Chris, how you doing? Hey Forgeman, how you doing? Alright, Banzai. Take care, dude. Yeah, decoy, yeah. Decoys don't work. Sorry, noise doesn't work in... Well, it hasn't worked for like a year, I think. Noise used to be where if you noised and you went inside, it gave you such high stats for your emissions that you could basically be invisible to missile locking and stuff. Me and Fresh and a lot of people, I would imagine, used it a lot. It's great for getting rid of people. You know, that one missile that's not on you and your allies can flak you basically or hide you. That's not been working for this whole year, I think. I'm trying to remember when it actually did work. I don't think it worked in 3.16. But I do know that they have been working on countermeasures, like not fully fixing it, but there is a bit of a sort of soft fix, right? Where like EM missiles, IR missiles can actually be flared off. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, where it's to do with server hiccups and stuff, where when like you press flare, the client to server to whatever, you know, it's not going through all the way. Hey Hollywood, how you doing, Chief? So I think countermeasures are slightly better. I don't know if they've done any tweaks to like the EM. I know that they wanted to try and do that. They were wanting to get it to where like Scorpius, Hurricane, you know how they've all got size 1 modules and then they just got that size 2 shield and it just fucks up the whole ship. There's something about that where that's getting a little bit of a tweak and stuff like that. Like size 2 shields getting a wee fix. I don't know if they'll have it in for 3.18 though. Again, it's kind of like a lot of people like Space Cutlet's memeing that's a Jesus patch and stuff like that, but I mean it's not a Jesus patch, but there's a lot of really nice sort of mini quality of lives coming in. And then obviously all the other content as well, right? So is the problem with chaff is being noise gated? Dude, when I think I had a huge rant when they actually changed it from flare and chaff, which we had for years, to decoy and noise. Because here's the funny thing, they did this when the Talon came out, because apparently the Talon and the Strike were going to have decoys and noise as a different countermeasure to what we have in like the Arrow, Gladius, and all these other ships, and then they just didn't go through with it, and they just changed the HUD stuff, but the AI, the UI voice still says countermeasures low, and then it's like chaff low, flares low, chaff finished, or whatever it says, right? It never says decoy or noise. Decoys and noise makes more sense in space. I always look at it, if they had just gone like Gundam for the chaff, where it basically makes all this like stuff that fucks with the lock and stuff, because that's when when flares and chaff, when chaff first came out and it changed the way where it makes this big burst and you go through it and you would lose lock. That for me felt very much like in Gundam, where when you go into a chaff field you can't target anything, your electronics don't work and shit like that. But obviously then it changed to decoy and noise name. Got told to shut up. It just annoys me because again it's a UI thing. But the sound files and in-game stuff still says flares and chaff. But for me, like, noise would be like sound, right? That's how I look at it. With decoys, you would expect, like, maybe a little ship to detach and fucking fly off in the direction, and that is tricking the missile chasing after you, right? That's how I look at it when I hear about decoys and noise, is it something generates sound to confuse, you know, or it's like white noise kind of stuff like that. The decoy would last longer, yeah. I wouldn't actually mind if it was like a little decoy thing, ran away kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool. It just doesn't feel like you're moving at all, right? When you do it this way. It's fucking crazy, like. Decoys can be IR beacons or anything with a cross-section large enough to detect radar. Is it radar ping? Ah, right, nice. Has the guy come back? Oh, dude, I did a 3-point turn Mordors. I would be very surprised. I mean, I didn't warp very long, but yeah, we are going in. We're going. This is where, like, EVE Online, we call it a dead space, right? And a dead space is a place that, unless you had a probe, you could not get the player hiding in this dead space. And in EVE, it actually required you to warp to somewhere, log out, and as you log in, you begin your warp point, and you warp back to where you logged out to. And at the moment that you logged in, before you start warping, you would bookmark that area, and then you'd basically warp to that area, and then keep, like, again, you would make it where you just start dead space, dead space, dead space, Alt F4ing all the time to just go further and further into Narnia. And the only way you could find somebody doing this is great to hide, like, motherships and titans, because they were so far away that nobody could find them, or right above in the game and stuff. And yeah, you would have to probe people out. So it's sort of similar in Star Citizen, where you warp to 3 locations and then you go up or you go down. And it's a lot harder to catch up on that, because as I'm going in a straight line, somebody can keep warping back and forward until they get closer and then just keep after me. But if you go up, you can't warp up in this game, right? So somebody can only get underneath me, and because of that, I will be like 500,000 kilometers up in this spot, and by the time somebody even remotely gets close, I just go like that, right? And warp away. It's the best way to deal with this kind of stuff, where you can just chill, vibe out, watch a video, you know? It's the ultimate asshole move. Multi-crew ships could have guided missiles. Oh, like there was one thing that I've always asked for would be like TVI missiles, where like what you're talking about, BC, where in missile operator mode you fire the missile and then you could actually like control it, or people on the ground could have like IR painters and paint where the missile would hit, right? This would be insane if we had that kind of stuff, but that's big dreaming, right? I've heard that's coming. What, TVI missiles? Ooh, that would be sick, right? Painting targets. For me, right, the Gladiator, I wish CIG, if they did that, Doc, right, I would love it where they changed the Gladiator to a precision bomber for atmosphere, where as it's flying in atmosphere fast, somebody in the ground can paint and it can fire precision strike bombs, right? Over top. This would be so sick. Also great for taking out ballistas and stuff from range, you know, a counter to ballista gameplay. Again, like we've had it in armor for a while. It would be really dope. It would be really, really dope. You want to see another asshole thing, Mordors? Because I'm literally about to head off very shortly, right? Do you want to see this? Watch this, right? Let me just fucking do this. So watch this, Mordors, right? This is a great one if anyone's ever like streaming and stuff like that, right? You're watching, right? So obviously in game, somebody can keep up on it, all that stuff, yada yada yada. But if you're purposely, like this is where like when people crying about stream snipers and stuff like that, watch this. So you see this? Watch this, right? Flying by itself, Mordors. It's flying by itself, dude. You see that shit? Pretty cool, eh? So if I actually catch you up now, there you go. So now you're actually seeing the live feed of the stream. So I can put you back 45 seconds. If you're like stream sniping, I can still play the game and react and stuff like that. It's just literally you're buffered 45 seconds back. A lot of streamers don't use this shit. You know what I mean? So if we go like that, right? You can hear the game sounds, right? But you're like, where the fuck is TheDarkLaw going now, eh? Has he stopped warp? No, he's on the way to Yella. Yeah, he's on the way to Yella. His stream shows he's going to Yella. Is he going to Yella? You know? Do you do 2 PC streaming? Because 2 PC streaming is the way to do it. It uses up a shit ton of your GPU to do it. But then, I can just release the buffer. There we go. There's the live feed. Because most of the time with streaming, you can actually just, you can turn your stream off and put like a 2-minute delay, but I think that's really shit for like your streaming in general because of it. But this way, if you've got 2 PC streaming, you can actually put a buffer on your GPU and do it that way. Yo, Austin, thank you very much for the follow, dude. Appreciate that. Does he not always have your marker? If I'm in a non-com area, dog paddy, right? If I'm in a non-com area, you don't see the marker, or you see the last location of the marker, right? So it's basically only a tool for like streamers, you know? It's only good for streamers, where it allows them to basically put like a delay on for a quick second. For Star Citizen, anyway, right? Just in case somebody is watching your stream and whatever, right? I personally don't give a shit about stream snipers in any video game. I just don't care, right? Because they're always going to be in that game. You should always just expect it if you're streaming. You're literally giving a live feed at that stage. But this way you can play around with them. It's the same as you can do this, right? Yeah, this is a right fuckery trying to work this one out. So now I put a fucking delay on the video, send you back, blur you out, right? Get to my location, do whatever the fuck I'm doing. So now you see like, alright, well there's DarkLaw. He must be landing. Where is DarkLaw now? No, DarkLaw's already fucking going inside. It's so fucking cool. Yeah. Stream prospector mining now? Yeah. It's like, it's, you find the plugin, it's like instant replay or something like that. But again, if you're on a single PC streaming, it will fucking melt your graphics card. Because if your graphics card is doing the encoding and playing the game, yeah, the moment you start putting on like a 45-second buffer, because it records your whole stream basically. So for two PCs, it actually allows you to do it really, really nicely.
Welcome to the
Yeah, it's good for that, yeah. The thing is, I can't ever spin forward, so when people are like, oh, when they see me rewinding, they're like, oh, you're just making it faster. I literally can't go faster because you have to, it's recording the footage and just buffering 45 seconds, and then you can rewind and fast forward, but you can't go fast forward onto it because obviously I've not created the footage yet.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
New PC needed? Well, if you've got two PCs, it works, right? That's why two PC setup has always been a really good one. You know? I use a capture card. I wonder if I could figure out something like that out. Well, it's built off using like trapdoor. Alright, this is a new one for me. I have never fucking fallen through the ground here. Oh shit! Who are you? There's a fucking NPC down here. There's an NPC trap down here. I feel you, dude. I feel you. Can't wait for them to fix this bug. Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here. Can we actually get through? Man, look at this. Look how bad the modeling is for this area, where there's a rock literally touching the top of this. Excuse me, dude. Come on. Dude, get out of the way. That's it. We're going on an investigation. Can I go out this way? Hello? Help! Somebody grab my hand. Fucking hell, man. I have never seen this bug. I'm like a ground shark. Oh, we're bleeding out. Oh well. We're going down that way anyway. Fancy seeing you here. Yeah, I know. Fancy seeing you here. I'll see you later. I'm out of here. I got 38 seconds. Do you want my outfit? Here, take my undersuit. Survive. Survive. I'm fucking incapped as well. DarkLaw off the rocks. What was your wisdom? Get me out of here, yeah. That's the first time I've ever fallen through the floor at that lift area. I have seen people do it. I've seen Burke Black fall through that area, but that's the first time for me. Hey Ash, how you doing, sir? Welcome in. But yeah, we'll be back Thursday. I'm gonna start doing a few more shows just up until the birthday. But yeah, I won't be doing any nights, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, 'cause my son's here just to like do Christmas, birthday kind of stuff, you know. I won't see him until next year. So yeah. I'm definitely not doing any streams until Thursday. He leaves early on Thursday, so we'll get out for a walk with the pups, and then I think I'll do a Thursday show. Nix's hair is floating around like crazy. How many Power Ranger armors? I bought 5 and I got 1 because I was a subscriber. Ah, thank you, Wiggy. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah, it's on the 26th of December. We got the giveaway, exclamation mark birthday in chat. You can get involved, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you really want to take it any further. And, yeah. We're very actually close to unlocking the evil or dark Santa. Dark Santa's at 250 at the number up there. But every 50 gives you a code for the giveaway stuff. Uh-oh. Alright, so it's the bug one here. Whee! Oh my god! Oh, alright. They've given me more data? We're thrilled to announce that you're packed of our goodie bag. This is one thing I love about giffgaff in the UK. So I've literally been given, you will now get an extra 5 gigabyte, giving me 20 gigs in total. I never even used 20 gigs, to be honest. And I only use it for like Instagram and stuff dog related, so just keep getting more data. I wonder if I go down to a lower cost then, would that actually work out better for me? I just don't use a phone at all. I do not use a phone, chat. Smoke signals. That's how we do it. Hey, it's not my birthday till 26th though, Starburger. Again, the title. Soon. Teach me to Instagram? Point, click, there we go. That's about it. I don't even know, to be honest.
Welcome.
I've never really done anything major with Instagram for like Star Citizen. I really should, but I always used Instagram as like an archive for the dogs. Like you can see Luna there. My old business is on Instagram. And it was actually nice to go back and look at all the photos and videos when obviously Luna passed away in October. And yeah. It was really cool to see like the difference with her and Nix, because obviously everybody knows Nix is here. He's a big fucking puppy at 15 weeks old, and the size difference between him and Luna is just insane. Absolutely insane. Where his size is like Luna being 6 months. And he's like, what, 15? So that's just short of, or just over, is it 4? Maths has always been my worst thing. Like 3 or 4 months, right? And it's amazing just to see the difference. Hey, waved at you guys. $15, that's a big age, right? Again, it depends on the breed, right? Some dogs can just go for years and years and years and years, and others, well, Luna, 9, man. But I always knew Luna was not going to be an easy ride for me, because Luna, if anybody doesn't know the backstory of Luna, I got her when she was 5 weeks old. Now you're meant to get a puppy at like 8 weeks, weaned off the mother, but the mother just basically gave up. And I'd already put a deposit down for Luna. I was like, look, I'll take her there and then. And yeah, basically, I always knew, because she had been weaned off her mother way too early and she didn't have those sort of things, I knew that there was always going to be a few complications. And funnily enough, I don't know if any of you remember me mentioning it, but I was saying earlier this year, I felt like Luna was going to have heart troubles because she was missing a step when she was walking. But obviously she was happy to go for hikes, she was playing in the water, swimming, jumping around, she just was missing these steps. And obviously I don't know exactly what went wrong with her. They're like claiming that it was, you know, a tumor on the bladder and stuff like that, but because I knew there was something off with her earlier in the year and I didn't really think about it too much, I just thought maybe it could be like a heart murmur or something like that, where she was missing a step or losing coordination. I actually did say to my mother, I don't think Luna will make it to the end of this year, and there it is, you know. But I always knew she was going to be about 9 or 12. I didn't think she would live a full husky age, because they can get really bad hips like German Shepherds and stuff like that. You got 8 and 6? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Mordor's. It was literally, right, so she was doing all the things that Luna does at 9 years old, and I got COVID for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, she started to urinate a lot more, and I thought, oh, it's coming to winter, right? So, cold, you know, maybe she's got a urine infection or something like that. And I couldn't go to the vet because I had COVID. And then literally the moment I finished COVID, a week later, she's dead. And I'm like, that fucking hits you really, really hard. Because again, it's like literally she must have been suffering for however long, right? And didn't show any signs of it. And then just fucking gone, right? Crazy shit. And the bonkers thing is, like, Murphy was my mother's dog like 3 years ago. He did the same sort of thing. He was fine, and then literally a couple of weeks before he started to have like these sort of displacements and not really fits, but you know what I mean, like tired, and he was like 12, 13 years old, nearly 14 actually, and then he was just gone like that, you know. Had to be put down because it was too painful. But it hurts the most, like, and I say this not to be disrespectful for Luna. Luna was a very independent husky. Nova's a buddy to me. And Nova is an ex-customer of mine when I was doing dog work in lower Scotland. And took him on as guardian. And Nova has always been this dog that vocal, follows me around. I'm out this morning pushing snow. And whilst everyone else has gone into the house, Nova's lying down where I'm working, just chilling in the snow, right? And I think losing him will be a hard one for me, because he is literally like a shadow for me. He's always around every corner. Going to, like, if I actually do manage to go to CitizenCon next year, I think that's going to be quite hard for me. Because that will be the first time that I'm the longest time I've been away from Nova is 3 days. When I went to CitizenCon in 2019. But I'm planning to maybe do like 2 weeks next year if I can actually afford it. And that'll be hardcore. You had to put your 9 down in October as well? Sorry to hear that, Secret Wars. Fucking sucks, man. It's not about the age. It's about the reason, man. Like, you know, if Luna had been like an old dog, losing teeth, stuff like that, and it's just the instant fucking 360 in life kind of situation, and yeah, it sucks the most. It really does. You gotta treasure it whilst you have them, right? Gotta treasure it. It's like horses and stuff. You can get really bad things with horses where they just suddenly keel over, eating twisted guts, all that stuff. It's very, very common. But that definitely gave me a huge, like, change in sort of perspective over things, where now, you know what I mean, I did 6 months straight streaming Star Citizen, and I was planning to do a year, but because of Luna, I'm like, you know what I mean, I'm not doing that. Next year I want to do camping with the pups. Maybe even do a live stream camping or something like that. Something different, but I'm not going to waste any more time not going to locations. Because funnily enough, I'm coming up for 4 years in this area. And I had so many plans when moving up here to go to different walks. And because I'm so settled in the area and so happy with the area and there's lots of walks around here, I never took Luna to some of these places that I've been to in my life, and they're so amazing. So definitely next year I'm spending way more time with the dogs than just sort of sitting around, you know, back garden kind of style. Not happening. Let's have a look. The first time I left my buddy alone, American Red-Nosed Pit Bull, I left him for 4 hours and came home to a bathroom filled with fluff. He ripped off everything's off it. I just had to let. Yeah, that's anxiety attacks. You gotta train that out earlier on. Dogs are very, very prone to anxiety attacks because they're loyal, right? So when you're not around, they freak the fuck out because they're like, dogs don't understand time, right? So if you're gone for 10 minutes or you're gone for an hour, it's still the same thing. Where the fuck have you gone kind of situation, right? I kind of like it, but also it must be fucking hell for a dog to have to go through that all the time. Oh, shit. Who to send you guys to? Alright, hopefully my son should be here very shortly. I'm gonna get the house quickly tidied up. It was my fault, yes, I took him. One thing is, if you're ever leaving a dog in the house, if you've got a collar on the dog, please. If you're ever leaving your dog alone and you use collars, take it the fuck off, because I know 2 occasions where the dog had an anxiety attack and it hanged itself on the door handle. If you've got door handles like that, if it's like a knob thing, it's sort of okay, but where the dog would be jumping and it's caught the collar on the thing and hung itself off a door, always take your collars off inside a house. If you have to have a collar for whatever reason. Just microchip, it's better than a dangly piece of metal anyway. Yeah, different dogs do different things, you know. So yeah, please do that. It's the same with choke chains. If you're not training a dog, don't have a chain around a dog's neck. That's just asking for a fucking disaster. I have nobody I can send you to, guys. And I need to go. Fuckery. Who's this? Who's this Kelly Direct? This year is almost over. Quickly do your thing. Alright, we'll go to... Let's check her out. I have no idea who she is. But she's got a nice voice, red hair, and she's just literally said on stream that her voice is dull and boring. So yeah, we gotta raid that. Right, guys, exclamation mark raid in chat. Drop all the love as you can. I'm gonna pretty much just quickly raid and run because I need to get the house set up. But I will see you back on Thursday. Thank you very much for all the love today. Sorry I've been a bit of a downer. That fucking chatty thing really pissed me off right at the start of the show, so I'm not being in the best of moods, and especially to the sweaty the sweaty Mustang pilot, you know. keep swaying hard. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your week, and yeah, stay safe, guys. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful one. Take care. Take care. Snacking. Snap packing even. I'm gonna actually no, you're gonna be called snacking from now. Missel, Forgeman, Zayman, VR, everyone, Mordors. Have a great week, guys. Wiggy, thank you very much for spending some time with me. Take care. Check out Captain Barks later on tonight. Liberty, everyone, Ash, take care, guys. Have a wonderful one. More doors there.